When I was like 8 years old, my dad had an old Porsche 924 in the garage. And I remember thinking that, damn, this is a lame ass car. It has the engine from a Volkswagen van, and even at 8 I knew that Porsche should have a flat 6. But I also remember being mesmerized by the lights that could pop up and down. That car was sadly sold to some guy that were racing them, so it's probably scrapped by now. Anyway, I still think that pop-ups are awesome, and it seems that most people do. I might just be nostalgic for a time before me, but some of the best and most iconic cars from the 80s and 90s have them. The NSX, the F40, Countach, Miata, RX-7, C5, S13, and they all have one thing in common. They look so sleek with the lights down. So in a world of hyper aerodynamic cars, where are they? Pop-up headlights have been around since the 1930s, but they only became truly popular in the 1970s and 80s, largely due to US regulations that required sealed beam headlights and strict height requirements. At the time, US cars were required to use standardized sealed beam headlights, which had a fixed size and shape. This is also why every car from the 70s looks exactly the same. Technology Connections have a great video on this if you're interested. As you can imagine, this made it difficult for designers to integrate headlights into low, sleek cars without compromising the car's sporty, streamlined look, which meant that any low-slung sports car had to find a creative way to place the lights at the required height. For a lot of designers and engineers, pop-ups were the perfect answer. Lights that can be hidden during the day or while parked and only appear when needed. This allowed car makers to comply with regulations while still designing the low, sporty silhouettes that were in high demand at the time. But what they should do is make a maximum height for them, because I keep getting my eyes burned out by the new trucks, especially now that the sun has stopped rising. Okay, so why did they disappear? Well, pedestrian safety standards became much stricter. Pop-up headlights created a hard and sharp edge on the front of cars, which could cause serious injuries in collisions with pedestrians. In places like Europe and Japan, where new safety laws prioritized reducing harm to pedestrians, automakers were forced to find a smoother, more pedestrian-friendly front end. Like this Ford F250 that pushes down under the car. I'd rather have a headlight up through my knee than get hit by that. Also, advancements in headlight technology made pop-ups seem outdated. The US has started to allow headlights outside of the regulations, and today modern regulations focus more on beam pattern and brightness rather than strict height requirements. New advancements like LEDs and laser headlights allow for extremely low profile designs. So while manufacturers still design headlights at heights that are practical and safe, they have far more freedom than they did during the 70s and 80s. Finally, pop-up headlights had practical downsides. The motors and mechanisms that power them were prone to wear and failure, especially as the cars aged. Repairing or replacing these could be costly, and reliability issues didn't exactly help pop-ups make a case for their long-term viability. They were also bad for aerodynamics, and I don't mean when they were up. It's hard to make it absolutely flush with a bonnet, so it made a small but noticeable increase in drag. So by 2004, the beloved pop-up headlight disappeared from new models, marking the end of an era with the C5. They might be gone, but they're definitely not forgotten. And there's no actual outright ban on pop-ups, so in theory they could be brought back. I'm just brainstorming here, but I feel like today you could have made them out of something softer, or better yet, they could fold down in the event of a crash, like a reverse airbag or something. Or make them fall away from just the force of the person that's hitting them, like a wing mirror. I just feel like there's some way today to make them safe. Subscribe.